Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all of these topics and subjects, looking for investment opportunities, sharing them with everybody in the community. And I dive in and answer a lot of your guys' questions. You guys have great questions, broad based across a whole bunch of different things. Sometimes I know them quite well. Other times I may need to do some research depending on what you're asking. If that sounds like a community that you want to join, definitely check us out. Special is the coupon code that you can get some savings, 50% off the first month only, and a larger discount on the yearly membership. You can always switch from a monthly to a yearly or sign directly up to the yearly. Let's dive in. Let's take a look, see what's going on here. We were starting with the DXY. A little bit of strength today, up 0.2%. We had that reversal candlestick yesterday. There it is. This could be considered that like bloody nose, little pullback, but it actually ended up a little bit. So the momentum is to the upside in the short term here. Longer term, we still have a strong resistance support level going across. It's that white line going across there. Lots of resistance and support over the years. So that's kind of where we're at. And we're getting a little bit of support because we've come into that support region. And we'll see if we turn and move higher there. So what we're looking for is follow through and what the follow through looks like. Do we come up and hit and roll over, or are we going to punch back through and head back higher? Most of the time, you'll see interest rates driving this move. So we're seeing the 2-year move up the past 2 days. We're at resistance right there. So going to punch through, or are we going to roll over? That's the question that we've got. To me, we've had a pretty big pullback from this peak here, pulling down, but we're starting to see the big greens come into play here and small red candlesticks. So that still looks like it could try to make a move higher, but we'll monitor it and watch it together. The 10-year, we had some selling pressure come all the way back to support. Then we saw the interest rates come back up. So that looks interesting. You can see it touched that support right where the line is drawn. I didn't move that line. And then we moved on higher. So we'll see if that continues higher. That looks like to me that it's a bullish setup for interest rates to continue higher. And then the 30-year did the same, a very similar move today. Big wick at the bottom there. If this were to move lower, you generally don't see these wicks. So what I think is occurring is something hits it in the morning and then they offload bonds into the market throughout the day. So you'll see a large downward move, like a gap down in the morning, come down, and then selling pressure of bonds increases the interest rates up over time. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. So that's a bullish formation to move higher in interest rates. And we're sitting on top of a pattern too. TLT bond prices are up 1% today, but you can see they gapped it in the morning and then it reversed and came back down. So again, that's bond prices came up in the morning, reversed, came back down throughout the day. And we'll see what kind of follow through we get over the next few weeks. My guess, lower. I think interest rates are going up, bond prices are going lower. And I don't think this has broken that trend or anywhere near breaking that trend. The 2 and the 10 is up today, up 1.32%. That's the relationship between the 2-year and the 10-year. If we were in a recessionary environment, this drops like a rock. That's what we saw in C19. That's what we saw in the housing crash. That's what we saw in 9/11. We're not dropping like a rock. We are holding on at this particular time, and that is a bottoming pattern on a weekly candlestick to go higher. So we're also in a falling wedge with a 3-hump consolidation, which is kind of interesting. We'll see if that pops on up or not. We came lower here with the Trump news on the tariffs. The tariffs being intact and at those amounts could easily bring us into a recession. The question is, are they going to stay there, the amounts? And there's a huge question mark over all of that. And the bond market is rapidly moving in both directions here because I think it's trying to price it in and it doesn't know with all the uncertainty out there. TYX TNX ratio is down 0.9%. That generally is not a tailwind behind gold. It is a headwind. So gold's down $112 an ounce today. Um, is this a topping pattern? Some people will say yes, it's going to top here and move on back. I'm in the camp that I don't really care. Uh, I look at the big picture view, and even if this does something like that before going higher, I'm fine with it. I think that we are in a big bull market. And if I were to, let's say, grab this previous run up, and let's just say that this is something very similar to it. Um, I'm going to extend it way out there. So this very well could be something on the lines of, and I'm going to extend it just for the heck of it to see if I can get a similar pattern here. All right, so I'm going to zoom back in real quick and see how this aligns. And I'm going to try to align this upwards. So that's the fractal there. You can see some of these stair step patterns. We're probably going to stair step and do something on the lines of like, a consolidation that looks like that. I just extended it out to see how it fits. And this here, the peak would be 22,000. But something on the lines of that is possible. I'm not stating that's what my price objective is. I don't know, but I'm just looking to see, these pauses and the way that this is moving. It's probably going to be very similar to what we saw. So we could see a consolidation, something like that, maybe consolidate before moving higher again. You can see there's a consolidation here and there, consolidation there and there. There's another consolidation there. So something on the lines of that could occur. Silver up 2.13%. Now this is good. This is good. Why? Well, we've got this trend line here, the resistance line now, and we're trying to break out of it. We got a big bullish candlestick today. So let's see if we can break through this trend line over the next couple, week or two. We could pause here too, get a little downward move before heading higher. So silver's looking better. I don't like being next to this because it broke through this support, just cut through it like butter. And a lot of the times, what I've seen in history is you come up and tag this and you roll over. So this is a pretty big bullish engulfing candlestick. So I'm optimistic, but yet cautious, given the way that we are positioned next to these big two red candlesticks and underneath resistance. So we could roll over and do like a double bottom, which is possible. I'm not calling for that though. I want to see what happens. Platinum's up 1.8. Another very nice, good bullish engulfing candlestick. That looks good to go higher. It looks good to start an uptrend. Palladium also putting in a little bullish engulfing. It's not as big, and we're back to support here. So that also is squeezing into this kind of corner here, which is looking good. XAU to gold ratio, we started off in the day lower and it came back up. We are up 0.56. That's looking like it's trying to bottom here for the gold silver mining companies to outperform gold, and we're at a super low location for a move on up. GDX, so GDX was down 3%. Remember, gold was down quite a bit today. GDXJ down 2.81, and silver was up 0.75% for SilJ, and silver was up as well. So we're trying to get through resistance here, and we're still stuck. Crude oil down 2.21%, a little bit more bearish of a candlestick today. Now, is this a potential flag pattern that we could head lower? That's looking like it could be. We've got a bearish engulfing candlestick that showed up today. Hopefully, we can do like a double bottom here, and we come down and do that. That would be perfect for a great entry point if it were to do that. And then they would set up a nice double bottom. So fingers crossed, and that's what happens. And that's exactly hopefully where we end up. We want to come back in small red candlesticks. We want to come back in a candlesticks that looks similar to this, something very small, and where you just kind of slowly pull back like that, back to this general area between 55 and 58 potential. We don't want to see large red candlesticks blowing out to the downside, and that is a possibility still. Who knows? Trump could tweet something, Besant could tweet something. They're probably going to go massively short here before they do that, but look for that. TTF gas down slightly. It's looking like it's trying to hold here, but that is also an inverted flag pattern that could potentially head lower. Natural gas in America, the momentum still to the downside. That has not reversed yet. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, we're up 0.33% despite crude oil's downward move, but this is still an interesting setup. We don't have a big red candlestick showing up yet. We entered this from the top side down, and we could easily break in either direction here, so let's watch it over the next week or so. OIH is down 1.83%. That is a bearish engulfing candlestick, and that does look like we could potentially head lower in the short term. So that does look bearish in the short term here. Not looking too hot. Newcastle coal futures up about 0.5%. And we're at support, but that does look like we're getting some bearish candlesticks where we could potentially head lower here through the support zone. So we are experiencing some more selling pressure. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust looking a lot better today compared to the other energy sectors. We've broken this downtrend line to the upside, and I do think we are going to head higher in the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. This is a good sign, a good signal, and we just did a retest. This retest is we came up here, consolidated, ripped, came back and did a return to the crime scene retest. I think we're ready to go at some point. Sometimes they do chop sideways here for a little bit, but I think this is a great opportunity to be looking here. Great opportunity. Let me reemphasize, great opportunity. Uranium futures pricing turning on up. That looks great too. The turn on higher. And that is also a potential retest. What happens is you get stuck underneath these areas. You get a bearish downtrend. It turns. You get higher highs, higher lows. You get that stair-step pattern. And then we move on higher. So I think this is just a retest here, guys. And everyone's so bearish uranium. They need to just calm down. It's bullish setup. URA up 4.4%. Seeing some people step into the equities. Bullish engulfing. That's your reversal candlestick right there. That's what started the move. This is just a flag pattern, and it's broken out of the flag pattern to the upside. AOK looks fantastic. URNM up 7%, another flag pattern. I said yesterday we need to see if there's any follow through. We could potentially do a double bottom. That does not look like the case. We ripped on higher today, so that's good. Your reversal candlesticks, that candlestick here of the bullish engulfing. That's a flag pattern where we could have broken in either direction. We broke upward. URNJ looking good. Bullish engulfing here. The rest was also looking good, like URNM and URA. And we broke higher today. Looks good. We've got a little bit of resistance through here that we're basically playing with for a full-on unleashed beast if we can continue higher here. Nickel up 0.5%. That's just working its way on up. And again, we're next to some pretty big, strong selling pressure, but it depends what the overall markets do. Seem to be trading with the overall markets. Copper down 0.9%. Let me see if that is a reversal candlestick or not. No, it looks good. I call that a bloody nose where we continue higher. Looking good. Copper's up 2.33% in the equities. That's good because people are positioning in the equities even though copper was down. We've got lithium up 1.4. It's trying to work its way on up. That looks like a flag pattern. We've got REMX also in a big flag pattern with a bullish reversal candlestick there. That looks good. We've got iron ore moving sideways still choppity here. I think that'll break up eventually. Aluminum up 2.2%. That's good. And it's trying to break out of this inverted flag pattern that I left there, and we'll see if it can do that. We've got Baltic Dry Index chopping sideways. Still looks bearish because we entered downward and it could be a bear flag. We've got emerging markets up 1.15 above the resistance area, and that's good. We want to stay above this resistance support area. Mu up 0.4, looking better. Still in this big pattern here. There's the big picture view, breakout, return move. And that return move came back a little bit more than what I would have expected. I thought we were good to go here. But somehow they keep pulling out information here like tariffs and other stuff to keep us down. KRE up 2.25% today. Not a great looking candlestick, but we were up. XHB, there's support resistance there, and we're trying to break through it. We were down 0.15% today, not a huge reversal candlestick, but the momentum did reverse throughout the day. TAN down about 2%. This could go either way here, guys. This is a bearish piercing candlestick. We've got Russell 2000 up, still got this kind of flag pattern that looks okay to move higher. S&P 500 also up, almost like it was forced higher today. And we're still underneath resistance. This is downside momentum. Big selling pressure here, and we haven't reversed through any of these resistance levels that are basically ceilings above us. And then the NASDAQ's the same thing. We've got these ceilings above us where we kind of lost our way lower, and we've been tracking sideways here. We don't have a ton of follow through. There's not large, big selling pressure candlesticks there, but it's bad on the longer term because we've come on down and we're stair stepping lower. That could very well still be the case. SMCI up 7.6%, could be a double bottom in super microcomputer chips here, but it's kind of an ugly looking chart. Not sure if that's exactly a double bottom. It's pretty ugly looking. And then Nvidia up 3.7%, still underneath resistance and still in a downtrend. Bitcoin breaking through its resistance line, moving on higher. That looks pretty dang good for Bitcoin. That very well could continue higher. And then Ethereum up 2.3%. That also looks pretty good, and it's putting in the big greens. And then we want to see small reds when they have down days to move on up. That's also looking pretty solid for a potential turn. MicroStrategy up 0.8%, moving with Bitcoin, obviously. And then the VIX is down 7% as we are cooling down on volatility. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. Use that special coupon code. I get 50% off the monthly discount of just the first month for the monthly membership, and then a larger discount in the yearly if you want to sign up for a yearly and be with me for a year. We've got platinum question and answer sessions on the weekends. It's either Saturday or Sunday. And then we've got midweek updates. I just released a midweek update. You can watch that. Everything's recorded. It's all uploaded to the website. You can see previous ones. Some people use it as training, those Q&A sessions. I've been labeling the Q&A sessions with certain labels so you can go back and look and rewatch them. The first half of them are generally almost like training sessions that people want me to perform. I talk about a variety of things: ratios, cycles, market conditions, recession stuff, macro factors, yield curve, yields. I talk about individual companies, conference calls. We go over them sometimes. I do highlights of snippets of conference calls, which we're going to be getting through that here soon too as more companies release earnings. They also generally give guidance too, so I go through the guidance that the insiders have. I share insider buying, insider purchases, all that stuff. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely sign up and try it. And then if you like it, you can always switch to the yearly membership. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.